come up with a name for it. I won't call it a have to, but it's a. I say blimp is the real wide when you feel like you see. Okay.
You can turn the camera on, but you don't have to.
That's probably optional too on my camera.
Tell me when you have speed and you're ready.
Waiting on a B camera.
It's always the B camera.
Yeah.
B camera.
Will you get your act together back there?
That singing cameraman.
Good to go.
I've not seen you since you won for Braveheart, but could you tell there were a lot of people out there rooting for you? I kind of felt like I was out there rooting for you because we did 2 different interviews on the subject, which we never do.
Yeah.
One satellite, one regular. And I just felt like I was putting stuff on to tell people that, you know, you really need to go out and see this movie.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Well, I felt, yeah, a lot of positive energy. It was kind of an out-of-body experience for me. I felt like I was at home watching it on television. I felt not present.
Did you feel kind of vindicated when it did so well, that you had put so much out there on the line for that movie and it finally, you know, was recognized?
Not vindicated so much, it's just gratified, you know. It was just a real nice thing to happen, that your peers recognize you and sort of give you a little pat on the back. It's a cool thing.
Rene told me that she's praying for you.
Why? Oh, yeah.
She does that. You started that back up again, didn't you?
Did you see me like that?
I didn't see you light it.
Good.
So you'd worked so hard to quit during the editing of Braveheart, right?
Yep, and I quit again. I quit all the time. Hey, you know what? If you don't smoke, you can't quit.
That's true. He's so bad.
Yeah.
Have you gotten to the point, and you're not an old man by any means, but do you ever get a little achy and a little after these mornings when you're jumping over cabs and things like that, wake up a little cranky?
Yeah, yeah. Pop the old humorous back in and keep your humorous about it. And, you know, there's a few creaky joints.
Pretty few joints there?
Yeah, settling in. I'll get used to it.
This movie, watching it with an audience is fun because people are talking at the movie, they're yelling, it's a very vocal audience when you watch this kind of film. Well, I think that's because it's so tense. Is that why they're talking?
There's a lot of tension, but it's also a dilemma flick. It asks the audience to ask himself a lot of questions about, boy, that's a dumb thing, or is it? You know, and it gives them options and choices, you know. It's not quite as compelling as Would You Sleep with Robert Redford for $1 million? I certainly wouldn't, but...
It's good to know that.
Yeah, but it's the same kind of thing, you know. It's like, what would I do? Would I do this? Would I do that? So it's kind of a thinker, you know, and a thriller.
I was really surprised that anyone who's not been through the experience would know how to get the emotion of that thing in your stomach that you would get if you lost your child. I lost mine for 20 minutes once.
Yeah.
And it was an emotion that I've never had before. I never pray that I have it again.
No, it's
worse
awful.
than a loss. I can't even tell you what it is, but you guys got that feeling in the movie.
Oh,
How'd you do that?
Well, you know, it's happened. I mean, you said it yourself. I mean, you remember that feeling. It's simply emotional memory. And, you know, I remember I was in a pharmacy one time, and my daughter, who was 2, walked away. And I was busy looking at something, and I turned around in time to see her stepping off the curb, and the traffic was flying. And it was just like one of the most horrendous, my hair must have stuck straight up in the air. But before I knew it, I was about 40 feet. She was about 40 feet away. And I knocked old ladies over and bumped into shelves and completely like wrecked the joint to get to her, you know, before. So it's a fairly kind of strong impulse we have to protect our young, you know.
And the feeling after that was probably another emotion
Oh,
that I'm never going to let her out of my sight again. If I lost her,
Yeah.
it wouldn't be, I couldn't go on.
Oh, no legs for about 5 minutes. I was like, had to
just
sit
hug
down.
them, just hold them.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just so, I mean, and people feel that in the movie. That's why I told Ron, I guess people just think he's still Opie. I mean, I've seen him do all these great movies, but I just keep, every time I see him, I say, you've outdone yourself again.
Yeah, yeah. It's gritty. It's gritty.
It's a grittier movie than he's used to.
Oh, yeah. And that's good. I think it was really cool to see him go that way. And I think he realized he was taking himself somewhere else, you know, and stylistically. And just even the way he was using the camera and stuff, he had some pretty cool tricks. And he wasn't sure whether, you know, because he hadn't done it before. It takes a little courage to sort of go and try something new like that. So I was watching some good stuff.
But do you know when you're making a movie sometimes, like, if it's going to work or not?
Oh, yeah.
Could you tell this one was working? Or were you
as
really
much
unsure?
as you can tell, you know, you never really know, but it's because it's all done so piecemeal, you know. But as we went, it was very, you know, interesting to watch him work, and it was not surprising. I mean, I knew he'd do some good stuff, but but it seemed to be okay as we went. So, you know, I felt pretty confident.
It's a home run.
Yeah.
I'm praying for you.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, see, that was funny though.